Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is doing well. So today we're going to be working on a 10.1-inch DialN G10 tablet. So first off, you're going to be removing the SIM card tray. So I spent a good amount of time trying to figure out how to open this tablet. If you look this online, there's no resources out there, no videos, no how to, no disassembly videos. So if you take a thin tool and you go between the cracks here, once you open it up, just to have a little small gap, you can take a bigger tool as the whole assembly itself is held in by plastic tabs. And you want to be gentle with this as the housing itself can be damaged very easily as, it's plastic. So once you got the back cover off, the flex cable that's dangling everywhere is the front camera. So you want to be careful with that. So, like always on every electronic device, you want to disable or disconnect the battery. So, it is hidden by this black tape. So, you want to take that out, and then you will see the black and red wire for the battery connector. So in the top right hand corner, underneath this black tape is the glass flex cable for the touch. It is not for the LCD, so you want to disconnect it. So you want to take a heat gun and heat up the screen. And I'm going to show you, you want to take your thin tool and go between the screen and the assembly itself or the frame. And you want to create a little small gap. So you want to use a suction tool as you do this to make it a lot easier. So a suction tool, heat gun, and a thin tool will complete this job. Just be careful when you're using your tool. You don't want to pry up or press up too much as it's thin and it might shoot glass in your face. So when you heat it up, it should be smooth and easy for you to use your tool to cut off that glue from the frame itself. If it's hard, you might want to heat up a little bit more, but try not to stay in one spot when you're heating it up. The probably most difficult part is probably the areas where the glass cracked. So if you lift it up like how I did, you can actually see this LCD and the glass separate. And then if you look inside, you can actually see the glue. So you can probably take like a blade or whatever tool you want to use and can cut that glue. So this is where I actually finally got the screen off from the LCD or the frame itself. Took quite a while as was my first time and I didn't want to break the LCD because I could not find the LCD online either. I found the glass on eBay. Took a while to find it actually. The glass is pretty thick, I'm not even gonna lie to you. So you can actually see where the glue resides or where the glue is at when you take off the glass. So you want to take a blade. I want to actually recommend a blade because it's very easy to cut the plastic underneath. But you can use like some tweezers or whatever your choice of tool is. So if you have a stubborn piece of glass still stuck to it like I did here, it was pretty difficult to get it off. You can use a thin blade, but you might cut your finger or cut the edge of the assembly itself. So I recommend just putting some alcohol, make sure it doesn't go on the LCD. So when you want to tilt it like how I did, or dry it off with a heat gun. But after that, it's pretty easy to use a blade to go right underneath. So clean the edges where the glue sits at between the frame and the glass itself. You can use alcohol and a microfiber towel. So if you want, you can connect the flex cable from the glass to the motherboard and connect the battery and turn it on and test it to make sure the glass is working and everything. So when you're putting the screen on, just route the flex cable how it was before in that little gap right there in the bottom right hand corner. Just make sure there's no dust or any particles on the LCD. And then you can just press firmly with your fingers. And just make sure there's no gap between the glass and the frame itself. So when you're putting the flex from the glass to the connector, just be very careful and just make sure that flex is all the way in and it's seated correctly. Just be careful with the connector. That is very easy to knock off that black tab and the connector itself on the board. And then you plug in your battery. And then to connect or to put together the back cover to the screen assembly, the same way how you took it off. It's held in by clips. So you just press it in with your fingers and then you should hear all the clicking. So when you put the device back together, the device takes a very long time to boot up. For me, it took about 5 minutes. I don't know if this is something irregular or that's how it normally is. This is my first time working on this device. Just make sure the glass is not defective. So like how I am testing it right now, just use your finger sliding up and down. So if this video helps you, please give us a like, subscribe. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments or DM us and we will help you as soon as we can. Thank you.